Good Friday morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. And in today's weather forecast, we're going to be going over the potential for a multi-day severe weather outbreak, which looks to be starting tomorrow and will likely continue as we head into next week. So make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so that way you can stay updated with the latest on all this potential severe weather, which we will likely have, like I said, continuous severe weather as we head into next week. Also, don't forget to leave a thumbs up too as well, and of course make sure to leave any questions, comments, or concerns down below that you have. And like I said, you guys can leave anything down below as long as it's respectful, and I'll also get to those right after today's weather forecast. But let's first go ahead and start off with today, where we do have a marginal risk there across parts there of western Texas and as well as eastern New Mexico. This isn't really looking to be a huge concern as we don't have any tornado threat in play, but we do have both a large hail and as well as a damaging wind threat in play. So once again, not anything too concerning, but at least secure objects and as well as protect your vehicles, as we could maybe see a storm or two contain that potential for some damaging wind and small hail. So that's really all you have to do for today if you do live across western Texas or eastern New Mexico. But once again, not really looking to see anything too concerning today. Let's now go ahead and look at tomorrow now, and this storm system will continue to strengthen as once again we are continuing to see severe weather across parts there of western Texas, and it does turn out we do have a little bit higher of a risk for tornadoes as we head to tomorrow across parts there of western Texas. Unfortunately though, the main concern doesn't look to be damaging winds, but we are most concerned about that large hail threat there across western Texas, as we even do have that hatched risk, which is pretty much the black circle with the lines going through it. That indicates a risk for 2-inch in diameter hail, guys, as we head to tomorrow. So I would recommend securing and as well as protecting your vehicles and keep them there as we head to tomorrow, as this will likely continue, okay? So if you do have, any plans tomorrow, like I said, make sure you are protecting both your vehicles and as well as securing your objects, as that will likely be the main concern tomorrow, with even that potential for a tornado or two. So make sure to also have your tornado action plan in place just in case. Let's now go ahead and take a look at what we can expect as we head into Sunday now. And as you guys can see, we do have a pretty big area to watch for as we head into Sunday, as we do have a slight risk in play. Keep in mind though that Sunday this weekend still does remain a little bit uncertain, as we are still a little bit far out from it. But by the time we head to tomorrow, we will likely see the hazards for Sunday, which could maybe be a little bit more on the significant side of things. So make sure to be watching very closely, just in case we do end up seeing a little bit of a significant severe storm risk as we head the Sunday. But once again, that does remain very uncertain as of right now, so I'll at least be watching, like I said. Let's now go ahead and take a look at what we can expect as we head into the beginning of the work week now, which will be for Monday of next week, which will be about 4 days away from now. And as you guys can see, we do have that slight risk for severe weather heading from the Dallas-Fort Worth area all the way up there to parts of St. Louis, Missouri, okay? So that's definitely going to be an area to watch closely once again. And something else that I do want to warn you guys about is when you are looking 3 days out from now, which we are looking about 3 days out, then that's when you have that potential for an enhanced risk, okay? Because usually the Storm Prediction Center issues a slight risk for severe weather 3 or 4 days out from now if they are confident enough. That doesn't happen all the time, but that does happen quite a bit of the time, and so I just want to warn you guys about that as we head into day 4 where once again we will have that potential for potentially an enhanced risk for severe weather. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the excessive rainfall outlook, starting off down here where we are likely going to see severe weather both today and tomorrow, and that's where we do have a slight risk for flash flooding across parts there of western Texas and as well as eastern New Mexico, so that's one area to watch for. We also do have another area to watch down here for Mississippi and as well as southern Louisiana, but those areas aren't likely to see the worst today, so you guys probably don't really need to be watching any closely besides maybe a couple of spots potentially seeing some ponding, but other than that, not really looking to be a huge concern down here towards Mississippi and Louisiana. And then by the time we head into tomorrow, we still continue to see that risk for flash flooding across western Texas, but does continue to move towards the east. So once again, we will need to be watching those areas very closely as we do head into the weekend, as we will likely, see quite a bit of rainfall across those areas, heading from Joplin, Missouri, all the way back down towards, certain parts there of Amarillo. So once again, we will be watching tomorrow very closely as that potential for flash flooding will be there. So make sure to, turn around and don't drown if you encounter a flooded roadway tomorrow. And that will be the same criteria as we head into Sunday this weekend. The only difference is that that flood threat continues to get greater as that storm system is still going to continue to grow and move extremely slow, guys. And when it moves extremely slow, that just brings continuous rainfall, okay? So whenever we see a moderate risk for flash flooding, that indicates that, that rivers, such as larger rivers, may be affected. We could even see the same thing in creeks and, of course, areas that don't usually experience flooding could. So once again, make sure you are taking this very seriously as we head into tomorrow, as, we might even have that potential for up to a foot in some areas. So make sure to be taking this very seriously as we head into Sunday this weekend. Let's now go ahead and take a look at Monday now. And for Monday, which will be the start of the work week next week, we are going to continue to see that threat for flash flooding persist there across parts of the Midwest. So once again, we will still need to be keeping an eye on the storm system very closely, and that may even continue into the Ohio River Valley all the way back down towards Dixie Alley as we head into Tuesday of next week. So we once again will need to be watching those areas heading from the lower Ohio Valley all the way back down there into Dixie Alley for that potential of some minor flooding, which could maybe even upgrade to a slight risk depending on how things plays out, which would probably be somewhere in this area, but that still does remain uncertain as the storm system will either strengthen then die down dramatically after producing a lot of flooding and severe weather across the Central Plains, or, it will continue to survive, being capable of still producing a little bit of flooding there. So once again, this does remain uncertain, but we will be watching it closely. Let's now go ahead and look at the total rainfall now, and as you guys can see, anywhere from now all the way to November 10th, we are expecting a pretty big area of flash flooding as, like I said, we did have that moderate risk in play for Sunday this weekend, and that will bring the potential of anywhere from a foot to even as much as 16 inches of rainfall, guys. This is something we should not ignore. Now, keep in mind, though, that this is not all going to occur in one day, but I still wouldn't rule out some totals of around a foot as we head into Sunday this weekend, as we did have that moderate risk for flash flooding in play. So once again, make sure to take this very seriously, especially because, like I said, this will likely affect larger rivers as we head into Sunday due to that moderate risk, but we'll also likely, see some areas potentially seeing once-in-a-lifetime flooding, as this really does look to be a pretty big problem. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the U.S. Drought Monitor, and as you guys can see, we still have a lot of severe and extreme droughts across much of the plains back down there into, the Ohio Valley and all the way back down there into the southwest. So unfortunately, we do really need the rainfall badly across much of the United States, especially down here towards Ohio and West Virginia, where we still have exceptional droughts in play. So we will really need to be keeping an eye on this extremely closely, as that kind of, is on the concerning side of things for maybe even a potential record-breaking drought, which I'm pretty sure that already became record-breaking, because we've seen dry conditions for over 3 months now, and we are still in an exceptional drought there across West Virginia and as well as Ohio. So if we don't get any rainfall, that would be the worst case, but we're hoping that we can really get some before these storm systems, really continue to die down. Let's now go ahead and show you guys something that I did get at one of the news stations here in my town, and I do want to show you guys that I did get a really cool photo in front of the 7-day forecast, and I was wearing, my suit, which, is pretty cool, and I did take this in front of a green screen. So I hope you guys, really like my photo right there, and consider subscribing for that, as that did take quite a bit to make. So make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you guys like this picture, and I even decided to use it for my channel too as well. So I hope that really does look cool to you guys, and like I said, consider subscribing to that, as that did take quite a bit to make. And this obviously isn't the 7-day forecast for today, as I did take this quite a bit ago, but like I said, make sure to subscribe for this, as this did take quite a bit to make. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy today's weather forecast. If you guys like my profile picture for my channel, or if you guys would like to stay tuned for more weather updates, as we do have a lot of severe weather ongoing for the rest of this week and as well as into next week, consider clicking that subscribe button, as we will continue to keep you guys updated with the latest on today's forecast. But also consider leaving a like too as well. Those help out more than you know. And of course, leave any questions, comments, or concerns down below. Those help out more than you know. And of course, you can leave anything down below, as long as it's respectful. And I hope you guys all have a great Friday.